Oh, hey guys, I wrote all this sober, but I'm recording it a little drunk, I'll be honest. Charlie Kirk was just assassinated, and that's really the word for it, too, isn't it? If you're in politics, you don't get murdered, you get assassinated. This is a guy who likely would have run for office at some point later in life, and now there is no later to his life. Assassination carries a heavier air of meaning. This was a killing that will send ripples through America as a whole, honestly. Whether you liked him or not, you can feel that impact. I'll say the same thing I'd say in regard to anyone who gets killed for their politics, which is that I detest political violence. I don't care who does it or who it happens to. Nobody should be getting killed over political opinions. That's a hard period. He was shot during a tour of college campuses where he talks to students and then has them come out and ask him questions or debate him on whatever topics if they so choose. And let me tell you this, if you're a political violence supporter, brainlessly cheering this on, even in pursuit of your own interests, you especially do not want to be supporting killing the people who still engage and have conversations with your side. You do not want to be supporting killing the moderates of the opposing political party. The people who think everyone on the right is a Nazi and make no distinction between the moderates and extremes, trust me. If you start killing the moderates, you will meet the extremes, and they will be greater in number for your efforts, and there will be no denying the difference anymore. There is a very up close video of his assassination, and you do not want to watch it, but you really should. I have never seen so much blood gushing out of one place. He gets hit in the neck, and it's like an instant dam breakage. It is nothing like the gore you see in movies. It's so much more visceral and real, and that makes it all the more sickening. For some of you, watching the video will just make your jokes more accurate. And whatever, man, that's who you are, for better or worse, but you should see the contents of your disposition in plain view and face up to it, because if you want to make those jokes, but you refuse to see what you're actually making fun of, you're just a coward hiding behind a smirk. But other people should watch the video because it should serve as a grisly reminder that this is the kind of thing we are not striving to have happen in American society. It's the kind of thing you should look at and go, yep, I'm going to redouble my efforts into still being someone who does not kill people I disagree with. And if everyone did that, boom, no more assassinations. I saw some of the reactions to his death and I just tweeted, evil fucking people out here, man. Like, that's all I tweeted. And someone replied like, I can't wait for your reemergence into politics because of Twitter people and not the evil shit the government is doing. Twitter people? Bro, this is real life. Charlie Kirk didn't die on Twitter. He died in Utah, outside, a place you clearly need to go. Outside, not Utah. Nobody needs to go there. Also, I'm not re-emerging into politics because it shouldn't be political to say that I don't like when people get shot for their beliefs. I do want to respond to some choice sentiments that are being shared about Charlie Kirk's death specifically, like one tweet I saw with 250,000 likes just said, well, I guess he lost the debate. This is very emblematic of the kind of mindset nobody should have, and it makes you sound very dumb, is the idea that a debate opponent being murdered means they lost. Ugh, who is that a victory for, exactly? Someone who couldn't contend with words, so they resorted to bullets? It's like if a stand-up comic roasts you and you punch him in the face. What did you demonstrate? Because it sure wasn't intellect. Even if you're that much of a meathead, was this really a victory for the Democrats? because it sure wasn't a Democratic act. So if you're a Democrat and you consider it a win, maybe think about what the name of your party's supposed to mean. Also, as Trump stated in his national address of the situation, this does not silence Charlie Kirk, because his message is going to be shared ever more fervently by those who supported him and will continue to carry his ideas. Now he's a martyr with an even bigger spotlight on him. Another sentiment I saw is the idea that people's condolences and prayers for Charlie Kirk are proof that people would denounce the killing of Hitler if he were alive and got killed today. That they'd be like, Hitler was a father, we shouldn't celebrate his death. I can count a few differences between Charlie Kirk and Hitler, namely a striking lack of body count. Really, I think the orchestrated deaths of 6 million Jews puts a modest barrier between them as people, to say nothing of their great many political differences. So I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that everyone expressing sympathy at Charlie Kirk would do the same for Adolf Hitler. But I'm not an OnlyFans whore with a Twitter account and hundreds of cocks lodged in my brain, so what do I know? When you cheer for one side of political violence, you invite the other. You foster the climate for retaliation. It's like taunting a serial killer and then leaving your door unlocked. It's just thoughtless. I don't want an opposing act of violence to occur. I actively discourage anyone thinking of acting from doing that. Obviously. But if your cheers eventually turn to sobs, that'll be a natural consequence you fed and watered, and both sides will be ushering in their own demise. That would be a great place to end, but I slept on it and found some more things to say. At this point, they've caught the person responsible. There are arguments as to whether they are left-wing or not, based on the fact that they come from a Republican family, as if plenty of left-wingers don't. I mean, my parents and immediate family are all essentially fundamentalist Christians, and that doesn't mean that I am. I'm agnostic, if anything. I do think it's hard to refute the idea of a higher power as a possibility, but I don't subscribe to any currently established one. The bullets were engraved with terminally online shit, like, take this, fascist, or if you're looking at this, you're gay. And, like, imagine being the first person to see that bullet. You got owned, dude. You have to have sex with men now for the rest of your life. Even if the left doesn't turn out to be responsible for this, lots of them sure wish they were anyway. People out here getting interviewed like, damn, I wish I was the one who shot him. People crashing his vigil on electric scooters, tweets with 350,000 plus likes, begging other conservative speakers not to cancel their college shows so they can also die. These people want all Republicans dead. Straight up. It's not thinly veiled. There is no veil. But they're just joking, said the lyingest liars who ever lied, clinging to a shred of plausible deniability with a knowing smile on their face. They may be joking, but there's nothing just about it. It's overly seasoned with feeling and truth. They know it, we know it, but they get to pretend they don't, and that's just the cowards. Because there are plenty of upfront psychos who will matter-of-factly be like, yeah, it's great that he's dead. I got giddy when I read it, because I am a well-adjusted human being. This will not end well for you. As a person who can imagine how things like this might go, this will not end well for you. You may not think Charlie Kirk was a moderate, but the right sure does. You're going to get Nick Fuentes now. That's going to be your most reasonable opposition, someone who has already dealt with an assassination attempt of their own and is going to have even less patience with your ideology. You motherfuckers cannot do this. You cannot support this. You cannot cheer this environment because we will all die. Well, that's going to do it for this lighthearted and fun episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Watch all my other videos that are decidedly funnier, and I'll see you guys next time.